Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here. I hope that you are all doing great today. It is so nice to see some familiar faces in the room. Hi. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 7th week in a row that we have been doing musical story activities together. Thank you so much for these opportunities, everyone. We have been conquering these stories week by week, and I have no doubt that we will conquer this one as well. I wanted to say it's a little bit harder, this one, because it's about math, but we'll get into that in just a second. First and foremost, let's celebrate the fact that we are simply together today. Where I am right now, the sun is shining so bright outside that you can't even see it through the window. That's an issue with my camera. But I will say it's sunny, and I hope it's sunny where you are too. All right, feel free to sing along. Let's warm up our voices together, everyone. Big breath. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care? What the heck do we care? And hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care now? And hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care? What the heck do we care? Good job! Hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care now? One more time. What the heck do we care now? Good job. Everyone sounds so great today. So let's remind each other before we get right into it what a musical story is all about. So I will read aloud this musical story with the theme of math. It's still going to be fun, I promise. Embedded in each paragraph that I read aloud, there's going to be clues. Specifically, these clues are lyrics, which will lead us into the next song that we will sing next. If the lyrics are quite easy to distinguish what song they belong to, I will read them aloud as I would with any other word of the story. However, if it's kind of difficult to understand where they belong in what song, then I will sing them along with the melody. So, it might be easier for us to distinguish what song we will sing next because of that. And I promise you and assure you that we will get through this one together. This is a brand new musical story, everyone. I'm excited. All right. So this musical story is called The Math Quiz. I'm not very good at math myself, but I think that this will be really fun, and there's music involved with it too. So let's get right to it. First off, got our thinking brain on and our listening ears on too. What I'm looking for as I narrate the story aloud is for anyone to name the title of the song that we will sing next. Even if it's multiple people at a time, that's what I'm going to be listening for, the title. All right, here we go. Let's take it slow. Once upon a time, a 10-year-old boy named Christopher lived in the Comox Valley. Christopher was very nervous today because his big mathematics test was going to take place at his school in the next couple of days. He wasn't very good at mathematics, so his mother hired a private tutor to come to Christopher's house on the weekends. Her name was Julie, and she was working with Christopher on specific math questions at this very moment. These questions had scenarios that involved different quantities of money, and Julie was finding out that Christopher found the questions easy to solve if he could figure out the song title associated with these different amounts of money. The first math question was quite easy. It was about subtracting a number of pennies away from another pile of pennies. For example, 5 pennies minus 4 pennies equals 1 penny. You've got it. I just don't understand these pennies though, said Christopher to Julie. Well, said Julie, every time it rains, it rains. I often think of pennies, she explained. Probably because I know that each cloud contains them. And, she added, you could most likely trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. Oh, I think I know that song, said Christopher. Julie continued to hum. There will be something from heaven for you and me, said Christopher. Something from heaven. Do we know the answer? Every time it rains, it rains. And in the title specifically, there is a quantity of money involved. Take your time. If you don't have the answer yet, ask your peers, ask anyone around the room right now. If anybody has in their head, or if anybody has blurted out the title of the song, Pennies from Heaven, then you are absolutely right. Good job. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think we would be pretty close to being rich if that were ever to happen. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Good job, everyone. Don't you know each cloud contains, ready? Pennies from heaven. You'll find your fortune falling all over the town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, then you must have showers. So when you hear that thunder, don't hide under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and for me. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, then you must have showers. So when you hear that thunder, don't hide under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and for me. Great singing, everyone. For you and for me. Excellent. And you know, just like that, the first song in this musical story, done. Great job. Okay, so let's continue. In that moment of celebration, Julie took out her wallet and exchanged pennies for nickels in the next mathematics question. So we're not dealing with pennies anymore, everyone. We're now dealing with nickels, 5 cents. My mother, said Julie to little Christopher, used nickels all the time, especially at the diner with her friends. Really? Said Christopher. Why at the diner? Julie then began to explain a Nickelodeon music machine to Christopher. It was a very big, colorful machine that worked when people kept on putting nickels in the Nickelodeon. Then you could pick what song the Nickelodeon would play next. So, said Christopher, the nickel is worth a bit more than the penny, right? That must have been fun dancing to the music the Nickelodeon played. Indeed it was, said Julie. That's how my mother and father met, you see. They danced closer, closer, while my father said to my mother, the nicest part of any melody is when you're dancing next to me. Oh, said Christopher, a nice romantic song. That sounds like all I want is having you and da 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 da. All I want is having you and da 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 da. Anybody have an idea of the title of the song that we're about to sing next? Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. And da 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 da. Anybody have the answer being Music, music, music. That's right. I'm very pleased with you all. That was a very good guess. Music, music, music. There is a diner somewhere near Nanaimo. If I'm not mistaken, they still do have a Nickelodeon, but they don't take nickels anymore. Unfortunately, they take toonies, so costs a little bit more for that enjoyment they had long ago. I would still pay a toonie for that. That's pretty cool. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, and all I want is having you and music, music, music. Let's sing, everyone. I can do anything, anything you'd want me to, and all I want is kissing you and music, music, music. Closer, my dear, come closer. The nicest part of any melody is when you're dancing close to me. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, and all I want is having you and music, music, music. And all I want is kissing you and music, music, music. Closer, my dear, come closer. The nicest part of any melody is when you're dancing close to me. Here we go. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon, and all I want is having you and music, music, music. And all I want is kissing you and music, music, music. And all I want is having you and music, music, music. Great work, everyone. That's such a nice, good dancing song to move along to. Okay, so let's recap what we've done so far in this musical story, everyone. We've covered pennies, that quantity of money, and we just did nickels being worth 5 cents, and we're going to move along. It seems like this musical story is leading us into higher quantities each song we sing, so I'm curious as to where this will lead us. All right, here we go. Just as Julie predicted, Christopher got the nickel math question right on his practice quiz. Slowly, he was starting to feel more confident about his math test later next week. When they continued, Julie said, "Did you know that Canada used to have a $2 bill?" "No way," said Christopher. "I thought there was only toonies." "Yes," explained Julie. "Let's look at the math question here, Christopher. It asks, if you had 3 $2 bills and took away 1, how many dollars would be remaining?" "I'm sorry," said Christopher. "I guess I still don't really understand the concept of a $2 bill. I can't really see it in my mind. I'm not used to that these days." "Fair enough," said Julie. "Let's think of that song that I know you know. The lyrics share something about having a bright red Ford and a $2 bill, and knowing somebody who knew a spot right over the hill, where the soda pop and the dancing was free. It goes to show that having a small $2 bill was enough to show a girl a good time back in the day," said Julie. "Kind of sounds like a really familiar Elvis Presley and Hank Williams song," said Christopher. "That also asks the girl what she got cooking after he shouts, 'Hey, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. How about cooking something up with me? Hey, good.' What do we think it is? Da-da-da-da. I'm curious, has anyone shouted out the title, 'Hey, good looking'? Because if so, you are correct. Great job. Hey, good looking. Another good dancing song right after music, music, music. We're in luck, everybody. Here we go. Big breath. Hey, good looking. How about cooking something up with me? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could find us a brand new recipe? Keep on going. I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing's free, so if you want to have fun, come along with me. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How about cooking something up with me? And hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could find us a brand new recipe? Here comes the $2 bill part. I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing's free, so if you want to have fun, come along with me. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How about cooking something up with me? And how about cooking something up with me? What a fun little cute song. And it did reference a couple times there the $2 bill. It'd be nice to have a $2 bill. All right. So, hey, good looking. We've covered the $2 bill. And with the song Music, 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 we covered the nickels going in the Nickelodeon. And from Pennies from Heaven, we've covered pennies. So let's continue. Great job, everyone. I think I'm getting the hang of these different money quantities, said Christopher. He then asked Julie, do you think I'm ready for the math test this week? Not just yet, said Julie. There are still a few more questions I wish to help you understand. Look at this question here, she said, pointing to the math book. This question doesn't talk about $2 bills, but it talks about $10 bills, though. Didn't you say that your country barn has a tumble-down shack and an old rusty mill on the grounds, Christopher? Yes, but why are you asking? Said Christopher curiously. Because I hear that you can buy a mule with a $10 bill, hinted Julie. Christopher was trying to piece things together here. The song sounded familiar, but he knew he would understand a $10 bill better if only he knew the name of the song. He started to hum out of nowhere, "You're welcome as the flowers on." Big hint in this song, there's a lot of bird tweeting in the beginning and during the chorus. You're welcome as the flowers. Does anybody have the answer? Take your time. I'm curious at this point. Has anybody guessed the word or the title, Mockingbird Hill? Because you are correct if you did. This is a good one, a favorite among everyone. Tra-la-la, tweedly-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, tweedly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill. Very good, everyone. Let's sing. When the sun in the morning peeps over the hill, and it kisses the roses on my windowsill, and my heart fills with gladness when I hear the thrill of the birds in the treetops on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning on Mockingbird's trill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill. Here's the part with the $10 bill, everyone. There's a tumble-down shack and an old rusty mill and a mule that I bought with a $10 bill. There's a tumble-down shack and an old rusty mill, but it's my home sweet home on the Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning on the mockingbird's trill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill. And late in the evening, I climb up the hill and I survey my kingdom when everything's still. Only me and my heart and the old whippoorwill, but it's my home sweet home on the Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning on the Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill, and you're welcome as the flowers on Mockingbird Hill. Woo! Going past the $10 bill range, everyone. Let's see where we go next. Excellent job. And just like that, Christopher understood $10 bills were worth more than $2 bills, and nickels from the Nickelodeon, and pennies from heaven too. He was then able to answer math questions involving $10 bills. Moving right along here, the songs seem to work like magic for Christopher to understand. Okay, you're doing great, and I'm very impressed. Let's finish this question here and then we can finish for the day. Christopher took one look at the question. The number being discussed had 9 zeros in it. 9! It took up a lot of space in the question. What on earth is that? Said Christopher, pointing at that number. It's the biggest number I've ever seen. That is precisely why we are going to solve this question, said Julie. I heard you singing the other day a song about a place during a lovely April shower at a most convenient door that happened to belong to a 5 and 10 cent store. Oh, right. And the lady who was found at the 5 and 10 cent store was worth $1 million or something? Said Christopher. You're so close, said Julie. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, people kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Not $1 million adult, shouted Christopher, but the opposite. What could the opposite be as the title for this song? Da-da-da, $1 million. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't want to say the answer to you. Does anybody have the title of this song? I found $1 million. If anybody guessed $1 million baby, the $1 million baby to be more precise, excellent job. You are correct with that one. And I think if we're moving on schedule here, that might be our last song in the musical story. Well done. I'm gonna put, it is quite a low song, so bring it up a few notches here. Good singing, everyone. Let's keep it up for this last song. It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient door. I found $1 million baby at the 5 and 10 cent store. It was the most convenient shower. I hung around for 3 or 4 hours to meet the $1 million baby at the 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Well, incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just open up my cabin door and meet the $1 million baby at the 5 and 10 cent store. Well, she was selling china, and when she made those eyes, good singing everyone, well, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Well, incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just open up my cabin door and meet the $1 million baby at the 5 and 10 cent store. Wow. You all sound so great singing together. It's something that I just love to hear. That must be a lot of money. She sounds like quite the special lady, said Christopher. Indeed, said Julie, and now you know what $1 million looks like when it is written out on a piece of paper. Correct, said Christopher. Thanks so much, Julie. Julie then said, I think you will be able to do very well on this math test this week, where you will have to know quite a few questions concerning pennies, nickels, $2 and $10 bills, and who could forget $1 million? Good luck, Christopher. As it turns out, he did very well, an A+ thanks to all those songs and your help today. The end. And with that, we are through and have been successful with another musical story. I am so excited for seeing you for a new one next week. Thank you very much, and thanks for the time spent together. You all are so great, and I miss you dearly. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.